Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. We are here at the Harold Wart Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska, an absolutely amazing place. Now, if you've seen the playlist on the channel, you'll see a lot of what we do on here are the cars. They have an amazing car collection, 300 plus cars, but we're going to share with you on this video something a little bit different, because as a lot of you guys know, if there's one thing I love almost as much as cars, it's airplanes. Love airplanes. They've got an amazing collection of airplanes in here as well, including the very first U.S. jet. The Bell P-59, made in 1942. They've got some interesting information here, right here with the displayed just underneath the jet, because the jet is literally on stands in this building. So you can see where this developed, how the engines were developed in the early 40s and finally into this plane and first tested in October 1942. Now, jet technology obviously brand new in the 40s, and the U.S. was actually a little bit behind in that race for the jet engines. Now, this P-59, as we can see, the engines were right here, directly under the wings is where these jet engines were mounted. And this was literally the very first style of jet fighter that the United States used. Now, we all know that this never made it into action in World War II, because actually, like I said, the U.S. was a little bit behind in development. Now, we do know the Me-262 did see combat right at the end of the war. The German Me-262 was flying, as well as the Comet, the German Comet, which was a rocket-powered plane. However, the Comet had no range because it was literally a rocket where it took off, went as far as it could, and then it had to land. So even though the Me-262 did make it into combat, this plane did not. The U.S. did have some amazing prop planes with the P-38 Lightning, the P-51 Mustang, the P-47 Thunderbolt. But the Me-262s were even faster than the P-51s. Now, at that point, Germany was definitely behind in the war. Me-262 production never did get ramped up. They saw handfuls of them in combat, but never a lot. So this plane here would have been the United States' answer to the Me-262 had the war continued. But this plane here, like I said, it's something you don't ever see because these were never very well known. In today's warbird society, obviously P-51s are kind of the king of warbirds, and there's a lot of beautiful P-38s, P-47s, as well as, of course, the B-17s and the B-29s that are still flying at air shows and on displays. So this jet is one you never see. It was almost kind of overlooked. The P-51 Mustang, such an amazing aircraft. They could get to Berlin, they could escort the heavies all the way to the city of Berlin, and that's what helped win the war. Obviously, the jet technology in the United States in that era had not gotten to that point yet, which really makes this a very unique piece of history because it's overlooked. It never really got into combat. The development never really got far enough to make this a viable combat aircraft. And with the Me-262 flying, this was an aircraft that the United States very well may have needed had the war gone on a little longer. Had Me-262 production actually gotten ramped up, this could have been a very, very important aircraft. However, it's almost kind of an overlooked aircraft now in today's world, especially in the warbird world of this era. So this is so cool that you can come here to Minden, Nebraska, to the Harold Wart Pioneer Village, and actually walk directly under this plane, look at this plane, read about it. And you can see as we come around here, it literally is the entire plane. They actually have the whole thing propped up in here so you can actually see it in person. Another one of those little, actually not really a little artifact, it's a very big artifact, but an artifact that you don't get the opportunity to see. It's history that you can actually walk under it, look at it, read about it, and think about that period in time. And if you're a World War II history buff, and you think about where the war was going with jet and rocket technology, and knowing the Me-262 was flying, this could have been an extremely important aircraft had the war continued. However, it wasn't. More testing was done in the late 40s. Different models of jet airplanes that were more successful came out. But had the United States gotten to the position where they had to have a jet fighter to keep up with the Me-262, maybe this was going to be it. We don't know. Obviously, the tide turned, history changed, or history became what it was, and we don't know if it would have been different or changed because the war ended and the United States was successful over Germany. So it's cool to come here to the Harold Wart Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska, where you can actually see this thing on display, as well as multiple other aircraft. If you look back over here, this whole room has aircraft hanging in it, as well as these super cool old fire engines. This is just absolutely an amazing place. So if you like this stuff, obviously we do a lot of car stuff here, but if you like airplanes and fire trucks and anything, even toasters, they have toasters here. They have everything in the chronological order of the history of man. That's what makes this amazing. This collection so amazing. If you haven't been here, this is a must see. You've got to put it on your bucket list. This is one of those types of stops. Be sure to stop and check it out. Check out the full playlist for other videos we've done from here at the Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska, and definitely put it on your list to get by here and check this amazing collection out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to check out the playlist and be sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with what we've got going on here on the Nobody Else's Auto and the Nobody Show channel. Thanks for watching, everybody.